I want to explain my understanding of life to a 5-year-old. Your understanding of life should get to that level. Your knowing of your existence of the power that creates the world, whatever it is that you create, that you call it. I'm comfortable calling it God, right? Close to Jesus Christ. I like Jesus Christ, right? Whatever it is, Krishna, Allah, whatever it is that you want to call it, as long as it's one power. That power lives inside all of us, and it has a point to make to whomever is willing to listen. You tell that to a child? Oh, listen to myself? Oh, okay. Go do what you like, baby. Let him find his interest. Stop bombarding children with fucking iPads and iPhones. Because you only had them, society tells you to, not because you're ready to be a parent, you know? You don't have time. You're busy. On your off days, you also need to rest. I'm not blaming you. But let's just stop this stupid cycle. Life is about knowing what you want. Knowing what you want is a connection with God, with the Creator. Because it doesn't get old, it doesn't end. It's like ever going, ongoing. For as long as you live, there's always something that you want if you are true to yourself. And I'm not even talking about the exaggerated version of what you want. I'm talking about the practice starts on a daily. When you start to understand that you can live a life by having what you want, when you start to believe it to your core, when it becomes a default, right? This is like after bashing out self-doubt, after replacing self-doubt with trust. Where there's self-doubt, there's no God's power, right? So if you say you want to work with God, then you have to trust in the silent times. This is the most silence that the universe has gotten me. May feels so long. Today's May 13th, 2025. I don't know. There's so many demands and commands. This is a different way that I'm trying to manifest. I don't know, right? Show me that I matter and I have. The universe knows my desires, but lately, after that, what I'm realizing is that riches is all about the energy, right? It's like, it's not about what you accumulate on the material form, right? It's not like the material form is going to speak to you or whatever, unless you live in the house that you want, unless you're surrounded by the things that you want, right? Like, that means the power of your preference, right? Thanks to Abraham Hicks for instilling that in me. The power of preference is in every detail of your life, because you live in a daily life. When there's a relationship, a neurological pattern, right? As Joe Dispenza explains, if you haven't read his book, or like, you know, had a chance to view his work on YouTube, you're missing out, right? So it's like you have a relationship with everything you see on a daily basis, and if it's how many % of that you see, touch, and you have a relationship with on a daily basis is your choice. You see, that's the big question. So that's what's going to determine if you are living a life that is on the right path or not, right? And so then the question becomes, what do I love, right? And the first thing is gonna be like, oh, what do you mean go back to childhood? It's not like I can what you have want has evolved. I'm not, asking you to go back to a childhood and find out you wanted to be a gymnastic, right? Depending how old you are right now, and you're 65 and you're like, you've been drinking and, like, let's say not taking care of your body. It's like, yeah, that's like outdated. So like maybe you could be a counselor, a teacher, right? Like some sort to stop from people doing the same mistake that you've done. Like, you show your love to gymnastic by doing something unique, right? What your want has evolved. You just have to listen to it. It's not something that you're going to figure out on a conscious level. You just need to take the time, but you have to first decide. And it doesn't fucking matter where you're at, the universe will talk to you. The universe has something for you to do. And purpose was supposed to be our drive. Which is, it is. But we were taught otherwise. That's why we age and we get old. And, right, again, for me, it's going to be reiterating, but that is what I stand for, child psychology. And that's the reason why children are ending their life, because of lacking their purpose, right? They're just bombarded with so much information beyond the capacity of their brains can handle, and with their short experience of 12 years, they decide that they're done with life, and this comes from the separation of self, right? It's like, nowadays, especially where I live, right, in our culture, they haven't even start talking yet. They're like still on diaper when they start a relationship with a computer, right? That is like really abusing them. You can't tell me anything that this is untrue, because this is self-proved experience. When my headaches are gone, I haven't felt the dizziness, right, ever since I graduated, because I'm not spending 4 or 5 hours on a computer anymore. They're all getting my psychology degree. It is not good for our eyes. You have to take a lot. I do it with lots of breaks, but still. But nowadays, children, like their source of dopamine comes from that. So it's like, you're like, what is your relationship? How healthy is these relationships throughout the day? Yeah, how healthy are they? Because it's either benefiting you, or it's either benefiting you or hurting you. And that is gonna come down to a choice of how much of yourself you know, because that's the only way that you can be surrounded by the right things. The more that you know of what you want, the healthier you become, right? People think riches is in the material, or having this, having that. That comes from an insecurity-based thinking, because you're still thinking to show for it. It's to stand. You just want to be like, staying like my daddy, staying like my dad. No, I'm not associating that's what that song is about. But, yeah, right? What do you truly, truly want? For you. It's all about you. You come alone, you die alone. That's what, we neglect to truly, truly understand. That's why you're aging and you call it life, and you're just hating more than half of your life experience, and you call it life. That's not fair to life, right? You have to be genuinely happy when you wake up in the morning, and that can only comes from feeling purposefulness, and that can only comes from knowing your purpose, right? We're not here for this like personal way of living that society has made us believe, right? It's just, school, marriage, mortgage, that's what I call it, right? When have you lived? When have you spent time with yourself? Have you figured out who you are? Because what is the point of reproducing? What is this, a carbon copy? Like choosing to be like animals. We're not chickens. Give birth to yourself first. There's no shortage of humans. There's shortage of quality humans in this decade. People are having children, they still have children, and these children are like growing up to kill themselves because the low income society is repeating history, not taking it serious. To me, if you're poor and you decide to have a child, it's like, that's like a lack of self-respect. to give humanism to who you are. Because it's like, what the fuck? Right? But most people don't even know the air that they breathe. They affect and they are affected by it. Are you breathing peace or stress? And life is a choice. Everything that you have brought to your life, you take responsibility. So start from where you're at. How can you live a little bit more of what you truly, truly want? Because life is all about that, having that taste of purpose. Having a purpose is absolutely anti-aging. Number one, God's creation is medicine to me. I used to always wonder. Timmy Grammys was like, oh my god, especially throughout high school. That's when the most I was awake anyway. Right? Sundays, right? Usually. Sitting in front of the TV, it's like, I enjoy like the whole entrance and, the interviews and just people screaming. It's not like now. Anyways, that was my thing, right? But it's like 10 years later, these celebrities look the same. It's like, what is it? What is it? When you live the life that you want, you become attached to life. And every day becomes new. Time just doesn't exist. It's like, I'm looking at my Instagram and I go through my page like I am a stalker of my own page. Every time I go on Instagram, I would just check out, I don't know, maybe Kim Kardashian's page or, I don't know, people that I like, fashion-wise, that I know that are gonna update me with something new, other than my designers, right? It are celebrities like Kim, Rihanna, Beyonce, and that's it. A total of 5 minutes. Maybe I'll watch reels if I see, depending on what it says. I'll look at it and I'll see what it's gravitated to me energetically. And then I go back to my page and I would just scroll all the way down and I would just every picture speaks to me. Every picture is has an energy relationship with me. Because I was in the now. Every time I'm in the now. Time never really existed. And it's so funny to me, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, people go and delete everything and then they will post to me, I scroll down and then I feel like it was just time go fast, I don't feel it. But that's what it does. Because you become what? Your first relationship becomes life. That is what you're supposed to teach your children. That is what you're supposed to teach yourself. How's your relationship with your life? What does that mean? Life. I'm married. I have a family. I have responsibility. I'm working. I'm a man. I'm providing. Oh yeah, good for you. You're supposed to. Yeah, you created that responsibility. So of course. But you also have a responsibility. There is a piece of a puzzle for the greater of good at large. In you, something that you like, personally that you're good at. It could be the way you see, it could be the way you think, it could be the way you smell, it could be the way you taste, it could be the way, right? That's how unique you are, just like your face. There's a print, just like there's a DNA. There's also something. At least be in the interested career. Right? That's the least you can do to respect yourself. But other than that, living job to job, that's not life. You're confused. You need to know what you want. You need to know what you like. And it doesn't matter where you're at. After the first 3 days, you have forgotten. You're already on muscle memory at your job, right? So for the 8 hours that you are at your job, what are you thinking about? You should be thinking about your desire, what you like, your interests. You should be learning, studying yourself, have a relationship, talk to yourself. It's not like you're there, you're zoomed out. How you doing? Yeah, you talk about the weather. Oh, yeah, it's good. You even have these conversations through muscle memory. Right? That's a norm. So get out of that life pattern if you wanna look good. If you don't wanna be a slave to external usage of everything, whether it's makeup, whether it's substance, whatever it is that you are in need of, you are a slave to. Learn yourself outside of that. Know yourself. Know more of yourself. It's freeing for yourself because it's easier to find it. Because you embody it and people accept what you tell them. Because you embody it, you become it. It's not fake. So it's all about talking. It's all about what you say energetically. What is your body language saying? You have to embody what you say you want. It can't be on the wishful thinking stage. But we all have something that we want. And that deep, deep want has evolved, but it has always been there, somehow, somewhat connected to what we liked as a kid. That's what it means when psychology said go back to childhood, right? It's not telling you, again, I gave the example already. But that's what the key to life, to happiness, to a genuine happiness though. Not this fake shit that you do on Instagram. People would go out their way to take a picture, get dressed, do their makeup, just to take a picture, just to post on Instagram to get likes from strangers. It's like, I don't get it. What is the point? I don't know why my voice is sounding like that, but seriously, I really don't get it. What is the point of getting likes? They are strangers. Unless you are creating a product. Now you might say, oh, but I'm the product. Really? Especially if you're not selling anything? What's the point of the like? Right? So find what you like. Say something. That's why that's one thing about me. I've always told my friends, I'm not invested in my social medias. Because I have nothing to tell. Okay? I'm working on myself. I'm figuring myself out. That's what I told them when Facebook was invented. I got bored already very quick. Same thing with Instagram. Just posting pictures. I'm like, nah. It's not going to be a responsibility for me that I'm gonna have to post a picture. That is delusion. I did got a taste of it. I saw how addictive it is to post everything, share everything, and I was like, all of a sudden you're gonna feel the need to post. I'm like, nah. I'm on a mission to turn my life into a vacation, right? That's what I always say. And my whole life, my friends are like, even in our 30s, vacation. They're all about vacation. I'm like, ugh. But what is it after you come back for 5? It's 10 days is the longest you could be. After 10 days, it's even for the 10 days, it's you need the alcohol, you need this, you need that to feel happiness. Right? I'm all about the daily life. I'm all about the everyday. How can we live the everyday? How can we balance? Because I know it's about balancing the everyday. It's about the accumulation of the moments, right? That becomes the day. A day. You call it a day. And weeks, months, years. It's life. It's you. It becomes you, whatever that is. So what are you imprinting? What are you learning? What are you accepting, basically? Earlier I had a realization, it's I think it's also a curse to know what you want. It's a curse and a blessing, because when you know what you want, you embody it. So it's as long as your needs are met, because early on, I guess, now I circled back just to learn riches is a feeling, and I've always known that. Right, I've always lived how I want. I respected my cravings. That was the number one thing for me. I'm such a foodie, right? That's how I express self-love, by taking my cravings seriously. And I have been privileged enough to lead a lifestyle that provides me to do that. And like, if you have a job, you better be living what you want, right? But then 2020 came in and introduced me to a different lifestyle, which was also beautiful. It's like, oh, I learned to manifest it now. But now my wants changed too. What is important? Is it important? Is my wanting important, or is it just superficial? Like, am I gonna stress about the parsley falafel wrap with the side of parsley tuna, or couscous, or is it really some? Because the subconscious mind, I learned the body doesn't know the difference, right? These triggers don't know if you are faking or telling the truth. So it's like, whoa, you have to be careful. What he said, what she said, the way she looked at you, the way you're eating that shit out all day, it's like, oh, no, that's not a way of living. We have to understand. It's about not having the manual, right? It's about not understanding how we are, how we operate. When you do know how you operate, you take good care of yourself, of your emotions. You start to learn to compartmentalize your feelings. It's like, oh, you start to filter them better. It's like, oh, I don't give a shit what she said. Some people intentionally, or like that's like the vibration that they're on. It's like, well, they open their mouths, they spit poison, right? Some people will tell you the time. I will take the time to tell you, you look awful. To me, if I see that you look awful more than the usual, I give you good energy. I will find something to tell you. Say, I will tell you something believable too. It's like, oh, you smell good today. What's that? Is that a good perfume? I can see it. It's like, people eat that shit, and I love that. How you like frequency switch. See, I've always known that. Now I learned about frequency. It's all about self-respect. It's your responsibility to feel good. Like, you have to understand it from that aspect, though, right? When I say people are worried about just having babies because they want babies that looks like them, they don't really want to be parents, right? They want to get mad. But I'm like, truthfully, if you really want to be a parent, you have to understand what it means to be a parent, right? Like, really, where the world we live in. Really, are you really? If you can't spend time with them, it's like, what's the point, right? That's what I'm talking about. If you can't shape them, lead them, only you can be patient. No amount of outside care can equal the amount of love and attention and affection you can give them. And it's one child for you. The easier it is to pay attention to this child and like see their personalities. It comes on quick. It catches on very quick. You start to see, oh, this one is stubborn. Oh, this one is sweet. Oh, this one is just gullible. Oh, this one is just artistic. Oh, this one likes this. Oh, this one likes piano. Oh, this one likes music. Like, they show you who they are. Children are creative. Like, why are we sending them to school? Like, up to age 4 should be like learning children, not children learning. It should be learning them. And then when they're 5 years old, you just teach them, just adding, subtracting. They will catch up quick. They'll continue on what you are going to teach them in first grade and second grade. They can handle it. But up to age 4, they shouldn't be taught anything. They should be just observed. Just observe them. Right? Let's just free each other up. Let's just, let's free each other. I love this. I love being this feeling, you know? I was laughing earlier. For some, they might describe this. It's like when you find your art, this is what you spend the majority of your time with your art. It's like, what does it even mean to be alone? Like, it doesn't even make sense. And here they are, children are like out here killing themselves. That is just a sensitive subject for me. Like, I just can't get over it, right? Like, I always talk about, I've been saying that I was going to be a child psychiatrist before I even knew how to spell psychiatrist. But thank God for attracting the right teachers, right? That was the time where a man is made or break, right? High school time. Shout out to Mrs. Scar, my English teacher, for always believing in me, right? But yeah, that was always my interest. I always understood people. And I feel like children have a long way to go the rest of their life to live. But here they are, they're already ending their lives, you know? And especially now after I graduated, it's like, oh. And the universe hit me left to right too. Because the universe, once you take responsibility, once you say you're going to be what you want, right? The universe is going to give you, it's like, oh, okay, here. Fix this, do this, right? Erykah Badu, what was it? I was watching this video. She was like, it's not even about, when they asked her about karma, it's not even about doing something bad necessarily, right? It's about, if you say like you want to be, like, for example, a good person, then the universe is going to give you like, all right, here, practice on this to be a good person. Because what is it going to take to be a good person? You have to experience to be, how to experience to be a bad person. I mean, how to experience being bad. People giving you troubles, right? And you say you want to be a nice person. Here, practice, right? Oh my god, what kind of scream was that? Children, they're probably just playing, but that was a weird ass scream. Yeah, it's not necessarily about doing bad, right? Like, so it's like that. But that's how I take the example. I'll correlate the example of my 2024 February. All of a sudden, emergency going back home, right? So to so-called rescue my younger brother, which turned out to be a lesson for my own. The universe is so ironic, right? It turned out to be for me a chance to apply all that I've learned, right? Hit me left to right through family and through my other relationships too, right? It was like, whoa, right? But it's like I went back to my park, a park that raised me. It was like when going back to your childhood home, right? Where you learned everything, so you realized everything and you left home. And now you're back, everyone is the same, everything is the same. So it's like you went back to the same place that you used to hide out. That's literally how I felt about going back to that park, and I have not missed. And I went on February, it was still snowing, like 30 degrees in Ohio, but shit, I waited until noon until the sun comes out. I would give it like an hour, but I'm in that bitch. From 1 to 3, I would walk there and just find a chair where the sun was like, strong, and I would just add all my mom's clothes, like layer on layer. It was a beautiful timing, right? Leaving Vegas, going back to Ohio where it's like at its worst weather. But anyways, it was just lesson after lesson, everything. But because my relationship with life has strengthened, I lived in the present moment. I was able to handle each day as it came. Ate healthy, right? 20 degrees outside. I woke up at 6 a.m., took a cold shower, did my affirmation, nigga. Shit. I was so proud of myself. Sleeping in my old bed. I was making my bed, doing meditation, doing my yoga, like stretch upstairs. It was so weird. Like I said, going back to your childhood home, right? But yeah, it's like, acknowledge the morning. I don't care if everyone's asleep. It's like I had to do continue my own routine, and it was very difficult. Like you were, like you said, like that. What was it on Jay Shetty? This girl, the writer of Aveda. Oof, I've enjoyed her interview. I watched it like 3 times. Her name, I forgot her name, but I resonated so much. It was like watching my soulmate, right? And she was talking about how when she left home, she was also not Indian, I believe, Pakistani, somewhere in there. But like, that's why I related so much. It's like foreigners, it's like we all have the same, I don't know, we have resonating stories to tell. But she explained it as that moving away from family and following her dreams, going away from home, her familiar space was like that abrupt energy separation. And that's what happened to me too when I moved to Vegas, right, in 2019. And with 2020, 2021, it was a lot that we experienced world as a whole, right? So, going back to your childhood for more than 15 days becomes already like a year. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? And you've been living in the city, you've been like with this energy abrupt has occurred, and you're like, has been living on your frequency. Your needs are met. You used to live in your needs are met. Now your cravings are all over the place, right? And it's like, it's too cold to go anywhere anyway, right? And it's like, whoa, the power of preference, right? And I've become so detailed, so you become like, whoo. So like I was so present with the day, like working with what I got for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. I made sure I ate my healthy, my routines, I tried my best. But you start to pay attention a lot, you've been living this bougie lifestyle, like you're back in the country, like, if you're a fan of Girlfriends, I'm talking about Tony, talking about the country folk, her mom. It's my favorite show that I watch again and again and again and again. It's like I talk with them. I talk along with them. That's how much I watch Girlfriends. But yeah, Angie and the Virgin. That's how weird I am. And Emily in Paris. And the Twilight Saga, especially, right? And Friends. And Sex and the City. Oh my gosh, I don't think I watch anything as much as I watched Sex and the City. Oh, Martin, I believe. Martin beats everything. Oh, my wife and kids too. Anyways, why am I going in detail? I'm a fan of a little bit of everything. I give everybody a chance, especially comedy. I wanna wait. So I fuck with them. Anyways, why am I talking about that? Yeah, the power of knowing what you want. When every day becomes just beautifully blissful. Because you are surrounded by the things that you like, like in this room. And it started from zooming in, the perfumes that was on the shelf and the purses I had on my left. That's all I had, right? Before I became surrounded with a room full of everything I liked. And further, even bathroom full of what I like. I'm a fashion designer, right? So including the shower curtains matter to me, the bathroom tiles matter, the shower head matters to me. And I'm not talking about, like my shower head is like this big ass square mounted with fucking rock that matches the kitchen, and my tiles are like beautifuler than the master bedroom, right? And my bedroom's architecture is like so gorgeous than the master bedroom, like so many cuts and edges of the wall and the curtains. It's like I grew up in Ethiopia, and my mom, they know their stuff when it comes to fashion. And just my curtains, the curtains in this house. Oh, I didn't actually have a bathroom curtain, but the master bedroom did. The material was just like, the fabric was from London, including this curtain in my bedroom. Like, it's so gorgeous, like you can tell whoever lived in my bedroom was invested in it, right? Like everything, even the hanger, the curtain hanger, the edges that is mounted to the wall, the shape of it, how wavy and beautifully, like it's like a silver, what do you call it, the silver that doesn't fade, like everything. Now it's like apartment, it become before, and then like it passes now. And emotionally, yes, what I see with my eyes matter, but now it becomes emotionally too. Emotionally becomes as like, am I serving my purpose? That comes from, who am I? Am I worthy enough even to listen to? That I have something in me, right? And the Bible is full of stories, people confessing to God, how dare you choose me? Some of them even, right? Some of them beg, God, show me how. How can I? I'm nothing. I'm immense, right? Well, how can I? The oldest Bible that survived, right? You can read any philosopher that tells you how it's all about how serious they took themselves. That's what a philosopher is. A person that took themselves serious. Taking yourself serious means listen to yourself. This unique voice. that talks to you, like your perspective, your unique perspectives that you need to share, unless you're surrounded by the people that you can talk to on a daily basis. I mean, I see myself, yes, manifesting that reality for me, but to also continue to share this, because we live in a generation, like, I'm a huge fan of things that matter, music that matters, rapper that matters, lyrics that matters, beat that matters, food that matters, entertainment that matters. What I watch is like Sunny and Marcus food channels, and Seek Discomfort. I love their channel. They're sharing what is happening in the world. They show you how lonely people feel, the world feels, the youngins. And there's this thing called the internet that is created for us, that we can share and find our community with their soul tribe spiritually, however deep or shallow you can find it. It's out there for you. It's all about connecting. Life is all about connecting. You have to live a little bit of your truest interest if you wanna. I'm giving you this. Is like, it beats everything out there. Any anti-aging cannot beat this remedy. A little bit of feeling purposefulness and living a piece of your interest will beat any anti-aging cream out there. I'm telling you, that's the secret. Next is what you are putting in your body, how much you're eating. Are you eating too much? Are you overworking your body? Because the organs have their own work. Yes, it's digesting food is one thing, but there's more than that. There's also energy that the body processes. So you have to eat healthy. If you can't eat healthy, you have to eat small portion by portion. And if you you're a meat fan, you have to eat a lot of carrots with it, like lots of, like, dress up your carrots. Like, I live in Vegas, baby. It's like carrots come in many ways. That's how I live life. I pay attention to unique things. That's how I think. When I go to the sushi bar, she comes in like $20 plate, looking like, what? $30 plate, $50 plate in the sushi bar. You go to Gordon Ramsay, like, she comes in $100 plate or a $200 plate, dressed like, what? But it's still that same baby fucking carrot that I can buy at Sprouts from, like, for $2.99. Life is depending how you dress her. God bless Lil Wayne, right? And T.I. and Young Jeezy. Lyrically, I don't know. I spend a lot of time, I feel like, listening to these three. I don't know what it is. So, yeah. It's all about how you dress yourself. We're all humans. We're all the same. But there are rich dad and poor dad. Right? It's all about how you dress yourself. It's all about how you look. Are you breathing stress or are you breathing peace? Because that's what riches is. You're going to attract better things, good things, based on how good you feel. The person that's like supporting you literally can be going through hell, but they're like a very focal point of your life. That's what I'm learning, and I had to learn to differentiate myself. Whew, right? Thanks to my new soul tribe, Jardina, she literally affirmed it after I journaled that shit and everything, like a day after. Stop imagining others. Stop assuming and imagining others' emotion. I learned that I've been spending a lot of time on that frequency, like, whoo, I should be spending a lot of time creating, writing my novels, learning about character buildings and shit. Here I am, living in people's fucking character in my life, and what I'm absorbing based on what I'm observing of them trying to instill of what they're, by denying what they are truly observing of me. Observing of me, but and fucking poisoning that shit. Right? That's how much you have to be self-aware. My eyes are so wide open right now. It's like Samuel Jackson. I feel like I could never fake it with him. If you yell at me, I'll run. There's something about Samuel Jackson in the game. There's some scary demeanor to me. I don't know what it is. Anyways, it's so funny to me. Yeah, like, I viewed things very differently my whole life. I'm so fucking fascinated about myself That's what I'm gonna. What is it Rihanna said? Oh, of course I'm gonna live happily ever. She lived happily ever after. Hell yes. Fuck yeah. The hell? What? Thought become things? You create your reality? Oh, okay, shit. Bet. What the fuck you think this is? You know? Truth is everywhere. Information is everywhere. Mama did try to raise a fool, but a fool never existed in me, so I think I raised her. So Mama became confused. So Mama started calling me odd. So I thought I was an odd, and I fucking embraced it. And everyone around me loved it until life reality hits hard and mid-20s showed up and I looked the same and people just couldn't handle it and turned into enemies. Friends turned into enemies, right? Life lesson beginning part 1, lesson 1, age 26. I was like, whoa. And then 27, 28, 29, you know, 30, 31, whoa, shit, 32, woo, 33 is like, what the fuck? It's like female war on female. What the fuck, you're not gonna have a baby? What the fuck is she doing? People became invested in each other's stories like, what the fuck are we living? Ow. That is not a farce, you guys. Ow. That was my chair. I have this beautiful flaming chair that I got from Home Depot. Yeah. Ow. Damn. My legs are asleep. Right? What is it? Many are called, but few are chosen. The narrow road, right? Yeah, we are okay talking about dreams and everything. Early 20s, you know? High school up to 25. Yeah, you have it in you to tolerate me. You just laugh, smile. You're like, you have the alcohol too. It's like, how the fuck this bitch does it? But you're like, okay, fine. But I noticed, right? Especially like throughout my degree, there was a lot of exercises that we had to do, right? Psychology becomes part of your life. You won't be the same because you integrate it throughout your life. So it's like learning a lot of things. It helps you to connect the dots throughout your life and understand yourself so you can understand the past. What was it? I mean, who was it that said you learn life by connecting the past, the dots in the past? I mean, you connect the dots in the past, not in the future. Right? That's how life makes sense to you. You learn about your personality, yourself. When you get hurt, you start, it's like it should be an opportunity. It's like, right? The biggest lesson I took from Source Sunday, my early 2013, 2014 days, Super Soul Sunday from Oprah, is like forgiving. It's not about being the bigger person. You should actually go deeper. It's about thanking the person for giving you the experience. But for the first time, I was like, what the fuck, you mean? Right? It was like the same thing when I read on Think and Grow Rich. If your desire was a burning desire, your reality won't stop you from desiring. I threw that book in the bushes, like, I screamed so hard. It was temporary insanity, you know? It was crazy, but luckily every time I go to the park, no one is there. So, like, the whole parking lot has become mine. The whole section is, like, personal park. I tell you, it's like my needs are always met. Right? And then I see myself doing the same thing as a billionaire, you know, like having my own park in the backyard. Just walking in a park, I don't really care if it's if I'm living in Manhattan. There's, what is it, Town Square? I mean, what is it, Central Park, as long as it's a park. It's all about, I know, the relationship with the trees. I have one now. Right? So, yeah, earlier I was going back to the point that could be a blessing and a curse, because when you know what you want, your standards change. You embody it. So it's like your needs start to it's like, for example, for me, it's just like massages, you know, like eating good food, right? So it becomes like, based on where you're at, you start doing it. But 2020 came and not working showed me and taught me, oh, okay, how else, right? Dream bigger. You should also be like serving, right? It's not about just meeting your needs. Oh, okay. So I learned to also meet my needs, to share my dreams, my creative works and art that required a certain amount of time to step away from the pattern of the matrix. Right? So you see, when you start to learn the power, your wants are no longer cliche. It needs to matter for you. You become your own judge. It's not about you or her or them. I don't give a fuck. I never did anyway, right? It's about integrity to me. I'm loyal to my own self. It's all about the voice in myself. It's like no one can tell me otherwise. You cannot tell me anything worse than I can tell myself. Right? I've always been that type of person. Self-awareness. So it's like when you are given the power of manifestation, you start to manifest things that matter, right? You start to take it. It's like great power comes with great responsibility, right? So I started thinking, you know what, it's not about going out for sushi every other day or having a $10, a $6 or $7 cafe, 2-3 times a week, and having tiramisu in different restaurants, right? Life is not about that, or different brunches every Sunday, right? No. How about you save that money and help your partner save more, right? You eat healthy. With there, you learn about energy, you cook it at home, right? I learned how to make egg benedicts in 2020, right? I learned, it's like, whoa, I need to help them. It's like, it's not fair. And then I start seeing the universe start helping me with rent. It's like, wow, I don't even know how I'm helping him, but I'm helping him. With food, I don't know how I'm with lifestyle, right? It's not always about the physical money, right? You start to learn how can you manifest things that matter. And then you start to live. Before you start to bring in money, the physical money, through your creation, before you start to have that power where you just sit and allow your creation bring you money, right? Before you stop working on your dreams, like there's a period where you're like there working with the co-workers, with your workers as if they're your co-workers, right? Working with the manager as if they're your manager, because it's a new business. You have to be there right before the profit and everything, basically, right? You have to show how hungry you are before you cultivate, before you grow a manager, a co-worker that you trust, that will hold down the restaurant just like you, before the chef, before you start trusting, it's like you manifest based on what you need. Life becomes, your needs are met, but you start to differentiate, but you start to understand what you want never change. So it's okay if it takes a long time. It doesn't have to, but it's okay. You have to differentiate it from due dates, is basically what I'm trying to say, actually. Scratch that. But if your needs are not met, that is the loudest that the universe is being with you. That's how I'm understanding it. But when your needs are met, you're okay. You're in a different type of relationship, right? I call it a stage 2. You're like creating, right? You are being tested. That's the stage I'm on, right? I remember taking a class in Mind Valley in 2022 New Year's, I remember. Right? What stage of manifesting, what stage of life or what stage of manifesting that you're on? Like, are you, yeah, I have it on my note, I'm sure. But what stage are you on? Right? Are you saying you're great with life? Are you, right? Because there's going to be a stage then. Your needs will be met, so you will be left with your creation, but your creations are not making profitable amount of money as you want to allow you to live in the lifestyle that you desire. But before that is allowed, you're going to be tested, I feel like. Right? Are you going to use this time that is given to you to sit and just wait by doing anything because things are met, because you have this boyfriend that spoils you, or this girlfriend that spoils you, right? Or this parent that spoils you? You're just gonna sit and you had this opportunity that that doesn't require you to work in the matrix pattern, basically, right? In the, you know, like in the 3D form of work. Are you just going to be lazy and do nothing, or are you going to cultivate your art, whatever it is? All right, it's going to come down to a point of that, and then you have to share it first before it brings in profit, right? So it's all about understanding what stage of life that you're on. Yeah. And then there's going to be a time where you can take a vacation, where your creation just works for you. Last night I had a taste of that. You know, I was so tired, but I had to post. And I was just like scrolling up. I was like, ugh, I'm so rich. I have all these recordings, all these videos. I was going through, like, I'm understanding, okay, some of them are just for me, right? Some of them are to share, but I have an abundance of it. And all I had to do is just listen to it and then post it, you know? It has to be that effortless. Your art, your relationship with your art. But you have to understand how important it is to share, because that's where the money is. But it's by helping others, others help you. Right? That's how it works. When you serve your purpose, you are beautifully compensated by the universe. That's how it works. And the universe compensates beautifully. So I decided to work for the universe, right? Because I want to get paid in millions and billions, not in fucking, yeah, right? And not in a job. I want to live where my life is a vacation, right? It's not about living in a palace and driving the Maserati. For me, it turned out to be, it is, you know, I'm a fashion designer. Yes, I'm in that lifestyle. I'm in that. I want it. But it's all about your preference, though. Mine happened to be that. Yes, you know, I want the same house as Sofia Garcia. Like that, her house is just like, oh my God. I'm obsessed with watching the 21, is it 21 questions? When the celebrities invite you to their house. I've always been a fan of that. I just enjoy knowing that there's houses like this that exist. To me, these shows are like house shopping, basically. I told you, I look at life very uniquely, differently. This is how I was when I was watching the Grammys too, you know? I'm shopping for dresses, I'm watching, it's like, I can do better than this. That never changed. I was watching the Met Gala yesterday. I was like, what the fuck is up with all this blazers? Like, women power? Like, what is happening? It's like, I don't see art. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait, you know? And I was like, nobody got shit on me. I was like, I used to watch out for Balmain. I'm like, Oliver, he's too busy wanting to be, anyways, a superstar more than a fashion designer. I feel like I need to stop, though. But, like, I'm on a personal relationship with people that I love. I love him to death, but I'm just saying that. I don't know. Like, when he first came out, he was such an intimidating. I was so intimidated. But now it's like, now I can take you. I still love him. I love you. I'm a huge fan of Oliver Rousteing. I feel like he's my best friend, but I feel like, it's like the same way there was a Lady Gaga and Nicki Minaj on Fashion Crack. You know, that moment, I was like so intimidated. I was just like on my high zone. I've always lived in the head, you know, and thank God, life is there anyway. What was it that Will Smith said the other day? I'm obsessed. Oh my God. Lord knows that I was such a huge fan of Tanaya Taylor, right? What is it that he said? I am my own religion, but I'm the only converter. I was like, oh my God, that was me. That is me. It's always been me. I never neglected my voice. I've always listened to myself, right? And I've come so far. I have manifested the right circumstances, the right human beings in my life, the right experiences, the right animals, the right cars, the right food, the right restaurant, the right place, the right vacation, the right cabin, the right everything. Life has so much to offer, children. That's all I can tell you. Life has so much. You just have to know what you want. You know, I live for you, the 14-year-old, the 13-year-old, the 12-year-old, the 11-year-old that is so confused of life, that is in the transitioning period. You're so bombarded with so much information, right? Your perspective of value of a life has been fucking poisoned, right? Brainwashed by social media, and you have forgotten your unique self and who you are. My God, this is why I love being in Utah, right? You can tell there's a different type of white people in Utah. I swear to God, the other day I was just looking at that. We decided to eat at Cubby's. We love that place, and we were outside. We decided to sit outside, and we were just like, they're all tall, like, how, of course, they're conservative, like, it's all about family, but like you can see that there is a certain of relaxed. There's absolutely, Utah is like a different frequency. That's why I love it, especially from Vegas. We have made it like it's like, yeah, we're driving. We stopped going to Mount Charleston. That's like the 35 minutes away, 40 minutes away. We treat Utah, Pine Valley like Mount Charleston. That's how much we drive to Utah from Las Vegas. 2-hour drive has become like 2 minutes drive. That's how we treat it. But I love it, right? We go like sometimes 3 times a month. We just go early in the day, spend the whole day, and then we just come back. Sometimes we get a cabin, we just stay there. But like I was just looking at that, we were there the other day. There's some certain, like, there's a glow in the kids that are like in the transitioning period. You can see them like they're on a date. You could, like, I can hear the conversation. I told you I look at life very uniquely. I pay attention. Like, if my current companion is not interesting, or what has been said, or the conversation is not interesting, I'm gonna pay attention to where my ear or my heart is at. And trust me, I will hear something important from the strangers sitting behind me. That's just how life teaches me. Like, earlier I forgot to mention about my experience in February 2024, right? Like how I went back home for emergency. Thought, like I mentioned, the lesson became for me, but like there were kids that I ran into when we went to Starbucks and Target with my mom, running errands, trying to pass on the words and how much they are in need of school guidance counselors. Kids who are like standing outside, passing out flyers and just, spreading the word. And I was so touched by it, how suicidal rate they were talking about. They had the percentage and everything in detail, how much the suicidal rate in teenagers has gone up, which I've already learned it. For me, I just graduated. I was on my last semester, so it's not new for me. I graduated the end of 2024. But yeah, right? So I was just like so touched by it. You know what I mean? So yeah, and how did I segue to that? When you're given the power of manifestation, you have to manifest things that matter. It's not, it can't be just for you personally. Yes, of course, you have to live your best, but not because you're trying to show up for this person, for that person. Do you really want the house that you are living in? Because it's the house that you live in. That's it's like, for me, Sofia Garcia's house, it has the garden, it has the meditation, it has like the Mediterranean, like it has the fucking castle that I want. It has the LA vibe that is all in LA, all in America, more importantly, because that's where I want to live. For me, home is America, right? It's like, it's like the Europe is in her house, and that's me. Like the Mediterranean, I love like Italy, I love Europe, Paris, and I love, like meditation, Buddha. It was just like the garden, the green. It's like, I would only like have that house where Oprah talks about she had them count her trees, right? Like that is me. That is gonna be me, right? My house is gonna be like Sofia Garcia's house is just gonna be like the last house on the street, and it's gonna be a park. And I don't mind sharing the park with my fellow neighbors, like all 3 of them, no more than that. But not if I want to live in the hills though, right? Not if I want to live in the Selling the Sunset show houses, which I do, or like design in Miami. But yeah, it's all about knowing what you want, right? I need the trees. I have a unique relationship with the trees now. It's just when you know what you want, how silly your interest sounds, it becomes stronger and stronger, and it starts to grow and starts to make sense to you. and you start to fall in love with yourself, and nothing comes between you and you. And this is what a child needs to learn before the age of 7, so they can be a whole strong human being. That's why children needs to be studied until age 4, so they can be a whole strong healthy human being. It's like we know the secret now. It's like it's not like I'm talking about it because I feel responsible and I'm here for it. I've noticed it. I've learned it when I learned it. It's not my responsibility when. The whole point is like I'm sharing what I'm learning, but it's not like I discovered this, right? So I don't understand why the educational system is still the way it is, like set up for failure. Like I don't remember anything from high school. Hell, I don't remember anything from school, like just specific things. And I'm sure that's how the rest of the school is. I have friends that are nurses that are like, what? It's like, what the fuck? How are you a nurse and you're eating ramens for noodles and dinner every day? Like, what the fuck? How are you smoking? How are you drinking this? Right? It's all because they did it. They went to school to make money. You're a slave for money. They think, oh, because you're educated, you know better. No, man. My friends are doctors and nurses that are like people that are like, Vegas puts you in a spot where you are like, like in relationship or like come and encounter with billionaires and millionaires. People are like in a billionaire status education wise, but not really like millionaires, right? It's just like very diverse, and I love the frequency in Vegas. That's why I moved back here. But it gives you the chance to learn a lot of things, right? And why did I mention that? I lost my thought pattern. Know what you want. That's the whole point, man. Know what you want. Know your true interest. How can you live a little bit of it? Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Whether you're saving that. What is it the other day? Why I was dying. She's like, you're saving that good perfume for when? For what? Right? Whatever it is that you love in your life, if you have it, do not feel bad of using it. The first lessons when I was 19 years old, I still remember it like it was yesterday. I happened to catch it on the radio. Don't be afraid of using what you have in life. And I think I just manifested my new car, and like I know how jealous my best friend was. It was something like that. I remember. I was like, aha. And the Black community, it's like a lifestyle, right? The new stuff is like on top of the counter in the box. They don't even use it. Where do you think that freak went with that way? Like, I'm Black, so it's like, hey, I'm sharing it. I don't know how it is for the rest of the people, but African Americans, Ethiopians, they're the same. They do that. Why? Scared of what you got. Scared of, but here you are praying for it. It's like, feel deserving of what you have. Feel deserving of what you have, what you want. And only depend on God. Only depend on the unknown and the invisible. That's where the answer is.